What's up, YouTube? Preach Divine here. Back with yet another topic that I think you guys will love. I think this one is going to actually hit home with most people. So what I want to discuss today is, you know how. So number one, in the dating process, okay, when you're pursuing someone, when you're dating someone, right? Whatever you do, think very, very hard on whatever you do to obtain that person. Because it's pros and cons of this, right? You need to continue that to keep that person if that's how you got that person. Make sense? Right? So it can be small to big, large scale, right? So for example, you met someone and you was on your purpose and you was ambitious and you went to the gym, you trained, you was romantic, you was spontaneous, you was adventurous, right? And then you finally obtain that person, you get that person and you become complacent and comfortable and you stop doing all those things. You let yourself go. You stop being romantic. You stop just doing nice gestures. You know what I mean, right? That all of those things to me is not okay, right? So if you're smart, you're not gonna ever try to buy someone, meaning like you met someone and you're doing all these financial things for them and that's how you got them. That's just fucking stupid. And we know that people do that shit, right? You're an idiot because like I said, if something was to transpire where you're unable to do those things, it is a high probability that you're gonna lose that person. So don't ever do that stupid shit, right? But let's just say the everyday person, right? You bought your girl flowers, you went out your way to be spontaneous and romantic, and you made sure you kept yourself together. You went to the gym, you was training, you ate well, you smelled good, your hygiene was great. You know what I mean? Like you cared, right? And then a lot of people get into relationships and get comfortable, and they just change. And when I see people do this, that I know personally, I call them out. Like, damn, bro, like, that's crazy. Like, you used to do this, you used to do that, right? And now you don't do any of that no more, right? The crazy one, like, a lot of people you see when they get out of a marriage or a relationship that was long, right? The first thing they want to do is get back in the gym. What? So, because you're getting a divorce, a separation, now because you're single again, you want to care about your appearance? You think it was okay to stop that shit because you was married? No, that's messed up, right? And sometimes a lot of infidelities is for, things like that, right? Because you got that person a certain way by being a certain way, by doing certain things, and then you get into a relationship and you get complacent, right? And the person that individual fell in love with, you're different. You're no longer that person that the person fell in love with. This goes both ways, men and women, right? It is not okay, right? So make sure whatever you're doing in the beginning to obtain that person, you're able to continue to do that, right? Don't ever go out your way to try to spoil a woman financially by buying her gifts, but you can't keep that up, right? It's not smart. Nothing about that's smart, right? Me personally, I don't want a woman like that where you're only interested because of the financial benefits you are receiving from me, right? But if I start out in a relationship and, we're going on dates frequently, we travel frequently, I just be spontaneous and I bring home flowers and little small gifts, you know what I mean? Like shoes, heels, and maybe perfume and, just little things where I'm showing my spouse that I care and I appreciate you and I notice you, right? And then, like I said, you stop doing that. If you stop doing that, right, when your actions change like that, it's creating insecurities within your partner because now they're confused on why you're different. You know? Like, prime example, like my mom, for example. I'm gonna use my mom. So, my dad loved dogs. Like fucking love dogs, right? And my mom and dad, later in their age or later in their marriage, would like argue a lot about him getting another dog. He had one dog at the time, but he wanted another dog. And they would argue a lot, right? And then I remember one time cutting them off and be like, hold on, Mom, right? You keep, saying horrible things because this man want another dog, right? But when you met him, you told me y'all had like 6 fucking dogs in one bed. Like, my dad was the type that he'll see a stray dog and he will bring the stray dog home. I told my mom, you're wrong. You knew when you met this man that he was that way about animals. And now you want to tell him he can't have something that you knew he loved. Right? So like when people get into relationships and you're doing or you're accepting certain things. Another thing I want to speak about, right? Not in the morning, right? So like what I also think is wrong, right? Like you have people that say I do. They get married, right? They get married. And they turn around and use reasons for why they are having affairs or why they are falling out of love with them because of things they knew before the marriage, before you said I do. I'm sorry. I believe when you say I do, you accepting everything about that person, right? If there's things that you cannot deal with long term, you guys supposed to sit down and have a conversation about that. You're supposed to convey how you feel to that person, right? That if you want this to continue, I need these things to change, right? So now that person know that you're not okay with whatever that may be, right? But if you never had this discussion, you're saying you're okay with everything they are, right? So it's then not okay to get married and the same things that you knew about this person is now a problem. I think that's fucked up. I don't care what it is. I done had guys say, oh, well, she ain't nasty, or she ain't a freak, or she don't suck dick. Was she doing that in the beginning? No. But you married her. Yeah. But if that was a fucking problem, you should have never put a ring on it if you needed that. If that was something you needed. You see what I'm saying? Right? And I can give you thousands of examples. Right? My ex-girlfriend told me that her husband was like super quiet, super antisocial. She dated this guy for 6 fucking years, right? And I was like, but you knew that about him, right? Yeah. You accepted about him? Yeah. So why you complaining about it now? Shit don't make any sense, right? So I don't care whatever it is, people, right? When it comes to dating, when it comes to the things you did to obtain that person, you should continue. When it comes to the things that you accepted about that person, right? It should never be a problem in the future. It should never be. I don't care what it is. And there's a lot of things that I probably wouldn't be okay with. But if you accepted it and then said I do, and now want to make those things a problem, that's fucked up. You guys should have had a conversation about whatever red flags or reservations you had before you guys continue to go further with your relationship. All right? I'm the type of person where I tell people, what you see is what you get. And I absolutely mean that. No, there's no woman that can tell you otherwise. How I conduct myself, what I do, who I am as a man, how I represent myself, I tell you from day one, and I don't deviate. You like you get what you see with me. I'm not one of them people that's going to tell you what you want to hear, right? Be something that you want to be. Like, no. I know that that's not smart. Because if I can't sustain that, it's going to be problems. It's going to be problems, right? So like I said, guys, I know a lot of people have did this, okay? And it's currently doing this, right? It is not okay, guys. It is not okay. It is not okay, right? You have to go back to being that person that person fell in love with. I'm going to say one thing before I end it. People always ask me, did you love any of your exes? And I was like, at some point. right? But I fell out of love with them not much after, not much sooner after I thought I loved them. What do you mean? So I always state that I fell in love with the person they portrayed themselves to be, but was false. Right? Meaning that they portrayed themselves to be something that they knew I wanted out of a woman, but yet it wasn't really them. So they could not sustain it, so their true colors came out. And when their true colors came out, this person here, I don't love. And I'm the type of person where I'm honest. I told my exes, like, listen to me, I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore. Like, because of the amount of time we spent together and you know the history, I absolutely got love for you. But I'm not in love with you anymore. I don't see a future with you anymore because you're not the person that you made me believe you were in the beginning. Right? I would rather you be upfront and tell me exactly everything that I'm getting. And then it's my choice to accept or not accept that. You feel me? Right? So continue to be that person, guys. And if you know you're no longer that person, go back to being that person. And I promise you, you see a difference in your relationship. Promise you. You guys have a good night. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Have a good night.